Hey boys and girls, how you doing today? I hope you enjoyed the story yesterday, A House for Hermit Crab. Today I'm going to read another story about a hermit crab, and this story is actually called The Three Little Hermit Crabs. It immediately makes me think of the Three Little Pigs, and if you can recall from the Three Little Pigs, each of the pigs goes out and tries to build a house to keep them safe from the big bad wolf. So I'm kind of using my knowledge from the Three Little Pigs to think of what might happen with the Three Little Hermit Crabs. So what I would like for you to do is I want you to press pause and I want you to make predictions, and I want you to use that sentence stem, I predict, and I want you to write down who do you predict will be the main characters, what do you predict will be the setting, what do you predict will be the main problem, and what do you predict the solution will be for this story. So go ahead and press pause and take a few minutes and go ahead and do that. Okay, so now that you've had a chance to write down your predictions, before I start reading this story, I wish you guys could see this in the classroom, because at the very back of the story is a really cool page, and it has a lot of different fun facts about hermit crabs. And I'll post these for you to see on Class Dojo. One of them that I thought was really cool, and I kind of wanted to talk to you about before I read the story, is that hermit crabs, kind of like when we read A House for Hermit Crab, they grow bigger and bigger just like you do. And as they grow, they get too big for their shell or for their house. We might see that as we grow, we get too big for our clothes, and we have to get bigger clothes, bigger shoes, bigger shirts, bigger pants. Well, a hermit crab has to get a bigger shell. And one thing I noticed on this page was that I have my tape measure again. Some hermit crabs can grow to only a half an inch, that little tiny half an inch. But some hermit crabs can grow as big as 16 inches. Can you imagine if you saw a hermit crab this big? I'm not sure what I would do. I've never seen a hermit crab this big, but I think that'd be super, super cool. Okay. Another thing too is hermit crabs will actually find anything in the ocean that could be their home. And unfortunately, sometimes they'll find trash or litter. And that's why it's really important that we keep our oceans clean and we don't litter and we don't throw trash into the ocean. The author who wrote this story, his story is right here. And what inspired him to write this story was when he was at an ocean, he saw a hermit crab that had actually used a piece of a pipe as his home. And that's not okay. The shell should be an actual shell. Their home should be an actual shell, not a piece of trash like a can or a pipe in this case. So again, just kind of keep in mind over the summer, if you visit the beach, if you see trash, make sure you pick it up and throw it in the wastebasket so that it doesn't end up in the ocean and harm some of the ocean animals. Okay. All right. So with a couple fun facts about hermit crabs, I'm going to go ahead and start our story, The Three Little Hermit Crabs. Not so very long ago, there lived a family of hermit crabs on the tropical island of Arthropoda. Their home was the nicest coconut on the entire island. Even as babies, each crabling was special. Gemma Crab loved to run up and down the beach as fast as she could. She wanted to be the fastest hermit crab on the island. Claudius Crab would pick up everything he saw so he could grow stronger. He dreamed of being the strongest hermit crab on the island. And then there was Albert Crab, and he didn't want to run fast or lift heavy things. Albert liked to read and ask lots and lots of questions. He wanted to be the smartest crab on the island. As the crablings grew bigger and bigger and bigger, their home seemed to get smaller and smaller and smaller. Now, Mama and Papa Crab knew it was time to let their crablings leave home. Mama Crab told her precious children, "Dearest crablings, you're big enough to find your very own shell. But remember, your shell will keep you warm and dry, and most importantly, it will protect you from Hook-billed Heron. Hook's favorite snack is a hermit crab, too lazy to find a shell. Claudius decided that with his big claws, he doesn't need to listen to his mama and papa. No one will dare to bother me, thinks Claudius. I'm too strong. Gemma wants to listen to her mama and papa, but every shell she tries on just slows her down. And Gemma thinks to herself, well, how can I win the crab races with a big, heavy shell? I'm so fast, I won't need a shell. Nothing can catch me. So take a moment and think, do you think that Claudius and Gemma are making good decisions by not getting a shell? Claudius thinks he's too strong, and Gemma thinks she is too fast. What do you think is going to happen? Go ahead and write down your prediction on your piece of paper, and then we'll continue. Now, Albert doesn't have a big claw, and he isn't very fast, and he knows he should listen to his mama and papa. So Albert looks and looks and looks all over Anthropoda. And after searching high and after searching low, he finds the shell of his dreams. His new shell is sturdy, just the right size, and it's his favorite color. Now, while the young crabs were out searching for their shells, Hook-billed Heron was fast asleep, dreaming a wonderful dream. Sleeping past his normal breakfast time, he wakes up and hears his belly rumbling. Hook hasn't had anything to eat in ages. Rumble, growl. Now Hook decides to fly over the beach, hoping to find something tasty to eat. And flying closer, he hears oohs and ahs. And as he swoops down, he sees Claudius showing off on the beach. Says Hook-billed Heron, that was a good snack to start the day off. If only there were more of those tasty treats without any shells. So it looks right here that Claudius was not strong enough to fight off the Hook-billed Heron. As Hook-billed Heron continues his flight around the island, when he hears loud noises and cheering, what does he see? The annual crab race. And while Gemma may have won the race, she should have listened to her mama and papa. As fast as Gemma was, she couldn't outrun Hook-billed Heron and was gobbled up. Now with his new shell, Albert headed back to get Mama and Papa's approval and to see what shells Gemma and Claudius found. I would sure like one more snack before I go home, thinks the Hook-billed Heron as he flies over the beach. And just then he spots a little hermit crab walking alone and he says, looks like a little small, but he'll do. And flying as fast as the wind, he swoops down and snaps up Albert. But there's something wrong with this crab. Coughs the Hook-billed Heron. He coughs and coughs and coughs. And out pops Albert. And the Hook-billed Heron keeps on coughing. And out pops Gemma. Then out pops Claudius. Now very upset and even hungrier than he was this morning, Hook-billed Heron gives up trying to snack on hermit crabs. Hungry, grumpy, and feathers ruffled, Hook flies off to find something easier to eat. Meanwhile, Mama and Papa Crab are so happy that all their crablings are back. And they cook up a big dinner, but not before they make Gemma and Claudius put on some old secondhand shells. And I really like this page because it says, I will always listen to Mama and Papa. I will always listen to Mama and Papa. I will always listen to Mama and Papa. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed the story, The Three Little Hermit Crabs. What I'd like for you to do is take a moment and go back and look at your original predictions and see if they matched up to what really happened. Go ahead and take another piece of paper and this time write the actual characters and the actual problem and the actual solution, and that way you can compare your prediction to what actually happened. Okay? I really like the story because it was about listening and following directions. And I know sometimes it's hard for us to understand why there's so many rules out there. But this was a really good story about following directions for your safety. So think about that next time when someone tells you a rule or a direction that you need to follow. And remember, it's always going to be for the benefit of the good. Okay? So think about that. All right, boys and girls, so we just had a chance to listen to some good literature, some good fictional literature. I wanted to finish up this with a little article about hermit crabs. So I want you to read this article. There's some difficult words on here, but you guys are really good at reading now, and I want you to try your best. The bold print words are the most important words. One of the words that you're going to see is called omnivore. And we've kind of talked about something similar called carnivore. And if you remember, a carnivore is an animal that eats meat. So in this story, or in this article, you're going to learn what an omnivore is. So I'm going to be asking you about that tomorrow. Another word that you're going to see is the word oviparous. And that might sound like an interesting word, but we have used that word before when we were describing penguins. So as you read this, you're going to find out that hermit crabs are similar to penguins in that sense. Okay, so I want you to go ahead and read through this and listen for the facts. Remember the things that are real about hermit crabs. When you are done reading this article, I want you to go ahead and complete the assignment. So you're going to identify evidence in text to tell me where they live, what they have, and what they eat. And then down below, I want you to write a summary about what the article was about. And remember, a summary isn't just copying down the sentences. It's putting things into your own words and talking about the most important parts of the article. Okay? So if you have any questions, feel free to ask me when you're done. Have mom and dad take a picture and send it to me via Class Dojo, and I'd love to take a look at it. All right, guys, doing a great job. Have a great afternoon.